Hi there. I had a conversation with a friend. I had a conversation with a friend, and she said she and her partner just realized that they have the same genotype. I was as surprised as you are. And today we're going to be discussing everything genotype and a subtopic. So you have to stay tuned. My name is Oyinda Molalajide, and you're tuned into Oyinbeck's Cookouts. We meet in the studio. We have some really amazing guests. I found them on Instagram. So that is why you need to stay tuned to this show, because we're going to be talking about so many things from a millennial's perspective. So, hi, Esther.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, Blessings.
Hello. So nice to be here.
Yeah, hope you're doing good. So, I have a question. Yeah, for both of you. So, if you're going to introduce yourself to my guest, how would you describe yourself? So just tell us about yourself more
Okay, my name is Esther Butu. I'm a fashion blogger, and I love to teach, impact people, and talk about anything lifestyle, basically.
Oh wow, that's nice. Hi, Blessing. Please tell us about yourself.
Oh, my name is Blessing Charles. I'm a makeup artist, and I also love to share my daily experiences on Instagram. I talk about things that I've gone through, and then I share lessons from them. Yes.
Hi, Mayokun. Mayokun is like a second guest, a second time guest on this show. Hi, Mayokun.
Hello. Happy to be here.
Yeah. So tell us about yourself.
Alright, my name is Mayokun Bamidele. I'm a hairstylist, and I just like to, talk to people, most especially. I like to educate people on different things in different areas.
Okay, I feel like the studio is really a lot of creatives. So you would style me, you'd make me up and do my hair.
Complete package.
I'm full package.
Complete package.
Okay, so at the beginning, let me go down the drain here to what brought about this topic. So I was talking to a friend recently, and she just come and she said she's feeling down. I'm like, in my mind, I thought it was boo problem, And she's like, oh, we just realized that we are both AS. And I'm like, what? Wow, how did you guys get there? I'm sure the relationship is spanning maybe close to a year, a little less than a year.
Mm-hmm.
So how did you guys get there? How? So now the next question is, at what point would they have had that conversation, or at what point do you think they should have that conversation about genotype?
Okay.
Yeah, so you could talk.
Okay, I feel like when you are getting to know someone, and obviously you ask the obvious questions like, oh, what state are you from? Where are you from? What school? There are some basic things that you get to know when you are trying to know someone. I feel like genotype should be part of that. Is that important? Not that you will not fall in love and then you start discovering that you are both AS. That's going to be you've just created trouble for yourself. So I feel like at the beginning stage, when you are asking, even when it's as important as asking for the name. Because let's say you get married now, you have children, you're bringing children into the world, and you're bringing them with problems. You're bringing those children to suffer. So is that important that you ask when you are getting to know that person? Oh, what school are you from? What state are you from? What is your genotype?
Oh, this is that.
Yes,
Especially if you're AS.
ask.
It's important
Yes.
that you ask.
Oh, so people that AA now, you can
people
just forget about
me.
AA.
I don't even bother anybody.
That's
fine.
fine,
But if you are AS,
You have
it
to.
has to be on your mind.
So you feel like you should start at the beginning of the conversation, yeah? So let's imagine hi Esther, what's your name? No, sorry, what do you do? Oh, I'm a fashion blogger. The next thing is oh, so what's your genotype?
You don't have to come so strongly. Basically, you can subtly put this in your conversations.
Oh.
Obviously, when you are getting to know someone,
Okay.
and the feelings are building, you have a lot of conversations. You talk about various things. There are people who talk from morning till night. You can't tell me that genotype not enter inside that conversation. It's not possible.
Okay, so because of what you said now.
Put it in.
Okay, so because of what you said now, it reminds me of our last week's topic. So last topic we talked about how often do you need to call your partner, and people had the opinions that oh no, you call them once a week, call them twice a week, your partner. So now imagine that's like the scenario. So how would the person bring it up? Because you probably have a timetable. So you call me on Monday, you don't call me till next week Monday.
Okay.
You call me on Tuesday, you don't come till next week Tuesday.
Well, that's very weird for you to be calling your partner once a week.
But how would you do
How?
that?
How is that? How is that person your partner? Once a week,
I
once
would.
in 2 weeks. That's weird. But if that is the case, I feel like there are times where you have serious conversations with your partner, and I feel like that topic should come up. If it's that important to you, especially if you are AS and you know that okay, I want to get married to someone whose genotype is compatible, that should be something that should always be on your mind. So when eventually you have serious conversations like money, finances, all these other things, I feel like genotype should come up. It should come up. Is that important?
So like, okay, let's time this thing. So if I'm talking to somebody, we're doing a talking stage for let's say month 1, month 2. So is it like, should I bring it up month 3, or I should bring it up like month 1?
There's no definite time.
No definite time. So what if have you realized that people get married now like in 6 months?
Yeah,
People get married now in 3 months.
I've
So
seen it.
it's just like, oh hello, are you down? I'm down. I'm ready. Oh, let's go.
No, it could be that, okay, for example, it doesn't have to be on the first day.
Mm-hmm.
Just noticing that this person has interest in you and you have interest in this person.
Mhm.
So you noticing it, you can just maybe when you guys are having your random conversation, or maybe he's telling you how he feels and all, and you're like, okay, do you know I'm AS? Or can I know your genotype, since you're already expressing your feelings and all? So from there you can now talk.
So what if the talking stage, maybe I've been feeling the boy for a very long time.
Yeah.
So now Badana decided to pop the question to tell you, oh my god, I feel so much about you and everything. He then tell you like a year after. Now, say, okay, so me I'm AS, so that's what you're saying.
Okay, it doesn't have to be. If it's taking time and you really like this person and you're AS, you could just pop it out maybe when you guys are having your random conversation.
Yeah,
I just want to know your
conversation.
genotype. I just want to know.
So and I'm sure it's not going to be sending. I think you have an opposing idea.
Yes.
Okay, please.
Exactly, because I feel because she said that it should be mentioned at the talking stage, right? But for me, I feel it's kind of too much information, except when you're just getting to know that person. Because the truth is, most of us, in fact, we have a lot of guys that something should have happened and that question never crosses our mind. Like, we've known this guy for close to like 8 years, 10 years, like, that kind of stuff. But this kind of questions,
puppy love kind of thing.
Exactly. So I feel like it's actually too much information when you just get to know the person. But at the same time, when I feel you should tell your partner is when you already have it in mind that, okay, I think I see a future with this person, and
So you believe that it is until you see a future with that person. Sometimes you are dating somebody but you are not seeing a future with that person.
Exactly.
Sometimes you are there, you did that, that you are catching cruise. It is cruise that is catching you.
So like in
that situation, okay, what if now with that thing you are saying, what if part of the catching cruise something happened? What's gonna happen?
Well, then it can pop up, and if we are incompatible, we can bear the breakup. We can just.
What would happen to? Wait.
Okay.
No, you've jumped. You've jumped.
But
yeah, I understand that until you are sure that this is the person.
Yes.
That,
then you can now go deep, because talking about genotype, it's a personal thing. Yeah, yes. Like some people take it really personal, especially those that are AS. Because AA, they used to see themselves as hot cake.
Yeah, they are hot. Before we continue, because I want you to really share what you are saying. So before we continue, let's take a roll call now. So in case you are listening, this is Esther. Esther, what's your genotype? Mayokun, what's your genotype?
Mine is confused because I've always been AS.
Okay.
And I checked last year. It was said to be AA. I checked recently and it says AS again.
Okay.
So
I think it's even one of the topics we're going to talk about. This switch in genotypes. I think maybe the hospital or whatever. But we're going to talk about that. So Blessing, what's yours? So
like that.
Okay. So on that note, everybody's like AA. Me, I will not help you now. I'm not helping now. But I know that. But let's carve it and talk. And people starting the right. Just know that only AA can apply within. Only AA clicks. Because apparently, I would say my genotype later. So now I want to ask. Yeah, you were talking about telling the person over time and how personal it is. Now my question is: should genotype be really personal? I understand that we would have different perspectives, yeah. So like we can go into it.
Okay.
Well, to some people it may be personal depending on their age, because they are afraid of the kind of eyes they'll be, they are afraid of the kind of way
that people will perceive them. True, that's true.
Or the kind of stereotype that they'll be given because of their genotype. So most people tend to just well, it's my business, especially those that are AS, SS. Even most times, SS, they would never even tell you, except you are very sensitive to know that, okay, this person is actually SS.
Stigma.
Yeah, so exactly.
So I feel like because of the stigmatization of certain genotypes, people like it's a personal thing.
It's not really
I feel like it's relative.
It's just for.
I feel like it's relative because someone like me now, AA. In fact, I was having a conversation with one of my friends like last week or something, and we're talking about genotype. I'm like, I'm AA. I'm not even bothered. I just say it because it's not a sensitive thing for me. But imagine I'm SS now. Maybe AS. It's not something I'll be carrying up and down like that. I wouldn't really be so open about it, especially if I'm SS. So I feel like it's relative. Depends on the person and person's out there. They might just tell people that are very close to them or people that they actually see a future with. You get
one of the reasons is people's reaction. Now when you tell somebody you're SS, like really, how are you coping? How are you
exactly
fine?
People start to see you in different lights and they don't want
all those things. They don't want it. I know of one SS too. The reason why she doesn't stay is because of the pity people put on her. Like, okay, how are you feeling? How are you coping? I hope you don't fall sick. Do you go to school? Other stuff.
Do you go to school?
Like some people think it's contagious. Like it's contagious.
People actually feel like essence contagious.
Yeah, like they behave like as if it can be transferred. Like once you just touch the person, just come on. And so like that kind of thing, people are so personal about it because of
it. You're still tuned into Apex Cookout, and with me I have like amazing guests. Like I said earlier, I'm enjoying their perspectives, and you can actually join this conversation. So you can call us on 081-318-20241. I said that too fast. 081-318-20241. You can call us on WhatsApp. Yeah, WhatsApp, please. Then I'd love to hear your perspective. At what time or at what point in the conversation do you think you can pop up your genotype and why? And in the case you're on the the AA side and you're nothing, you can as well not want to say it. But when you want to say it, why do you say it? And at what point do you think people should actually say these things? So back to our conversation. You know that the only the other side is not just SS. So there is SC, there's CC, and there's all of this. But the funny thing is that we don't get to know. So let me give you like a background story. So while I was in secondary school, in primary school, I always knew I was AA. So I was so when people are talking about the OAS thing, I'm like, oh, I'm AA, and all those stuff. The way you're proud now, like the way your shoulder pad is showing. I look at him like, oh, I'm AA, and all. Then I think when I was in year one, so we were going to do medicals and everything, and I went for medicals. Before I was going to get my result, my mom just called and she was giving me nice gist and everything. She went to the hospital that she's even AC. Automatically, that biology sense went to me like, AC. How am I going to crossbreed it? Who's gonna take the AC with you? So I carried myself and I went to visit myself and I saw AC. And the fact that personally for me, probably because of me, I really like to be different. Yeah? So if everybody is saying AS, and I'm coming like, oh, I'm AC. So I'm very open about it. I'm really open about it. Yeah. So now the question now comes like, at what point, let's say what age or what level were you when you realized that there was something called AC and SC? So after then, I realized that I just see some people be like, what that like it looks as if we look alike, but I think we're AC together. So at what point did you realize, is this the first time you're hearing about AC or you read it before? So and how was your reaction when you heard about AC?
I was shocked. I never knew of it before because I was thinking that we just have AIM, then AS and SS. Well, during our medical in year one of my friends, I saw our report and I saw AC and I was just shocked. That's all basically.
Be sincere with yourself. Did you give her that?
Like, are you sure? I don't know what they're saying. Because I've not heard of it before. They didn't teach us.
Yeah, so we're going back to education. Yeah. So now, when I found someone that was like SC, so SC they have more like you really can't tell. So it's more of how do I put this now? So it's not like you don't know. It's not like AC and AS gets married and all, that kind of thing. So when I met her, she doesn't look like when you see an SS, you probably have an idea of an SS. But she looked AO, she looked RT, but she was always saying that she's going for injection like every weekend, blood quality test and all those stuff. So would you risk it? As far as it's not SS, then go for SC.
No.
Well,
why?
From my research, I found out that SC and SS they are close. They're almost the same thing. So like there's little or no difference between them. So it's like also getting close to someone who has SS also. So I'm sorry.
No, so
I can't risk it.
I can't risk it. No.
You can't risk it.
Yeah, because like she said, it's almost the same. Like what I saw, SS is this disease. SC is the trait. They have the trait. Basically, that means you guys will almost have the same symptoms. Basically, so to avoid anything, let's just.
But you can't even avoid anything because you're
But
here.
for me,
You're ready to go. You're
I'm
ready
in love with you.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay, so this brings me back to now. What's the difference between AC and AS? AC and AS, because like see, like I saw something on Twitter, but is it going to go back to like Twitter conversation? There's something on Twitter, someone was like, oh, as far like AA, what's the point in getting married to an AA or being with an AA? Because every 3 days you're telling them, hope you're feeling better, hope you're fine, hope you're good. So and that table is already shaking my side. So people should talk. Is that how it works? So for AA, you fall sick like malaria like every 3 days.
I feel like it's relative. I'm AA. I don't know when last I had malaria. But it's very common. Malaria is very common with AA. But for me, I've not experienced that. I don't even know when last I've had malaria. And I receive a lot of mosquito bites very well. So I don't know. Maybe it's just
It's not completely.
maybe
true.
it's not completely true exact because it's not
Yeah.
true with me. I've not experienced that. I barely fall sick.
I
But
do,
for
but
other
not
people, I
every
don't
time.
know.
The last
So-
time was 3 years ago.
Oh wow.
Something like that. Me too.
No, Aisha is not the blood of Jesus.
Yes. That was
Because I remember going through your Instagram page and I saw like a lot like you're more like gospel content creators and everything. So I want to be sure that like we are
I have a lot of children. Part of it. But I haven't fallen sick in years for malaria. I don't even remember that.
Okay, now speaking of the blood of Jesus, I'm thinking of what do you think like of praying your preferred genotype?
For your child or what?
For
For
your
your child,
yourself.
yeah, no, for yourself, for your spouse, and for like your unborn child. So like now bringing it back to this, like remember we need to go back to our anchor story. Like this person realized that she had a boyfriend. Do you advise that they should go on with it? So like I'm going to give you like 2 sides of the coin now. Go on with it. Then you guys are believers here. Pray. You know what? There's a perfect person coming. So on that side, which part of the story are you on?
Okay, for me, what I would advise them to do is that if you guys love yourself and you really want to get married, the main thing is, okay, if you can pray about it, if your faith is strong, make sure it changes before you get married.
Exactly.
Let it change. And you can believe it happens. God can heal. If not, He will. He'll heal you if you really want to. You want Him to heal the person. So you have to wait. And if maybe your faith is not strong enough, don't risk it. Because what will keep you going in the marriage if your faith cannot even keep you at all to heal the person? So it's better if you go separate ways. But if your faith is strong enough, you can pray about it and tell people to join you in prayers if you really want to go ahead. But before you get married, make sure it's the ideal genotype.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's what you that's like. Do you agree with it? Because your face is.
Well, okay. I want to use a practical example. Because
Okay.
I was sharing earlier with them, and I said I know of a couple that are family friends. They are like their grandparents already. But I heard that they had 4 children, and the last child was SS, and he died when he was about in his early 20s and all that. And if you should hear this woman, she will tell you, oh, God, picked my husband for me. He's this, he's that, and all that. Like, I love this man. Like, they've been together for some time. So then someone said that, okay, that because of God chose that person for you doesn't mean that's the only person in this world that I can get married to. Well, if their love is strong enough, because like I said, they lost their last child actually. So
But they already have 4. They already have 4.
Yeah, they have
so
one of
they can
them
like exactly they can withhold that pain.
yes, they can withhold that pain. So for the story you actually said, if they are ready to take that pain, or if they feel like they are not going to have that many children, because most times when they do the crossing and all that, those genetic crossing, since both of them are AS and AS, it's most times affects the second, the third or fourth child, and really it can affect the first too. But if they are able to take that pain, or they plan to adopt children, just to make it then I feel
like
Consider
see,
the
it's
children.
not about to me. It's not about whether you can take the pain or not. Because you are bringing in a child that is going to suffer. Your own is like external pain. You are seeing the child suffer. Okay, so you are feeling it. But this one, you are bringing a child to come to the world and just suffer and go through pain all his life or all her life. I don't advise that. Don't go. If at all, both of you are AS, you love yourself, you want to get married, by all means, nothing can stop you, no problem. But don't have children. Adopt, because you are just going to bring a child to come and suffer in the world, and it's not fair. Look at the guy that died in his early 20s. I'm sure he had a bright future, he had stuff to do in this world, and he's gone like that. So I wouldn't even advise that. Don't bring that child into the world. Just stay without giving birth, if at all you really want to. I know it's easier said than done, but it's better.
Imagine the love of your life looking straight into your eyes.
I know, but it's not
telling
fair.
you,
It's not
baby.
fair on the child for you to bring
And
the
it can
child to the
affect the
world.
marriage.
It's not fair on yes.
When
If you guys are
people
not
treatment
strong
to
enough
other
to go
people.
through all that, no.
Yeah, I overheard there was a conversation I saw on Instagram about the same topic, and the woman was talking. The woman said something. She said that there is this more like a medical test you can go through first and do that. Everybody are like, oh, we can do that test or not. He said as soon as she got to the lab where she was meant to do that, when she saw a grown-ass woman crying as she was doing that, and saw how painful it looked, that she went and never came back. And that was it, and they went for adoption. And we've had other people that would say that, oh, okay, my husband tried when we lost the first child, we lost the second one, like I didn't hear from him again, and all the stuff. So I think it's advisable that
Okay, well, it's advisable you part ways, and the
If
Lord
at
will
all
be
you
with
can't
you.
part ways,
And
then
if
have
at
to
all
find
you
another
can't part ways, then you
adopt
have to
children.
make up your mind
Mhm.
that you adopt children.
Exactly.
Yes.
Like
Because
there
you
must
are-
be
you are-
a very high level of agreement between both parties that okay, we are not going to have children.
Have
We are going to
children.
adopt.
yeah, I just received a message too that there are people who check the genotype of a fetus and terminate if it is AS, if it's AS or AA, and that's what I'm just saying. Like it's easy. People just say, oh, there's a way. You just have this cancerous. You just go for chemotherapy. Chemotherapy and everything. But the point is that thing is actually expensive,
Yeah.
and it's not as easy as it looks. And there's even a tendency of losing the child in the process. So it is not as easy as it looks. So in as much as you tell people, oh, you want to do that, like, are you ready to cough out so much money to do this and go through so much pain?
Yes.
And when you now find out that, oh, okay, the child is not it, then you now have to terminate again. So I think it's like a merry-go-round.
Yes.
So
It's a whole process that you might not want to go through it. So just
True.
don't.
I agree with you. I hope every other person is agreeing. And in case you have like another perspective, please call in. Don't forget to call in 081-318-20241. Now back to what you said about praying until it changes. Now see, for example, my opinion that has almost 5 different genotype results. So now my uncle, and I want to ask, what if you pray now, and this same healthcare facility will give you AS, you do marriage after a traditional marriage and your cost wedding, you now see another result. Yes.
Wow.
So I don't want us to go like I'm not saying that we should go back to like the way you said, oh, the prayer, but now like let us analyze it in that some people really don't know, because based on our story, he had AA, like he has a result of AA, then he has another one of AS. They went down to another one and saw AS. So like, how do we do this thing, or is it like how do we do this thing to just prevent these things? So I feel like why people end up falling in love and why people just because just like, oh, I'm AA. I think I've had like a more like a, let me call it a relationship, or I've had like a relation, a ship. I've had a ship. I've been in a ship with somebody. Do you understand? And it happened that this person in question, as soon as it was AA and AC, you are AA, let's go, and but all of a sudden you see another result and it's like, oh, it's AS, another result again is AA, another result again is AS. As soon as everything just go down, what did I do? I carry my 2 left legs and I moved. So now my question is, how would you say we should blame the health facilities? Do you understand? Or because people really don't know. Some people they are into the whole relationship now. Like for instance, you're telling me, hey, just imagine next week you just come and say, is it so? I don't know what I was saying on radio that day.
Problem from the health facilities. I'm not sure. I don't know if blood group change, genotype changes that frequently. I'm not sure about that. So I feel like if you're having this kind of problem, you can go to a very trusted healthcare facility and you can run the test like 2 to 3 times to be sure, and then
The same place, at the same place.
no, like I'm saying, you can go to a different place
Oh,
that
okay.
is really, really trusted, like a good hospital or somewhere that you know that they know what they are doing, because there are a lot of people who don't know what they are doing. So yes, there are a lot of facilities that people there are frustrated people. So I don't know. So you can go to somewhere that you trust their abilities, and you can run the tests like 2 to 3 times to be sure of whatever result you get. You can also seek medical advice, hear from the doctor. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know if genotype is something that changes
Over time.
exactly. So you can seek medical advice to be sure, and so that you can know what you are doing.
Yeah.
Onward.
Yeah.
All right.
You want to say something?
Yeah, like for me now, like I said, I've always known my genotype to be AS from like when I knew what genotype meant.
Okay.
So even when I was in junior school and I went to a federal health center, it was AS. But as of last year when I went to General Hospital, for that matter, it was AA. Then recently I went to a private hospital where they boasted that that their genotype is original, is because the doctor asked me that, okay, what is my genotype, and I told him last time I checked it was AA, and when I did another test they said it was AS, and like no, they trust their hospital for genotype even if it's nothing and all that. So right now, after I told my dad, he said that see, we have to do it again because we have to go to a standard lab.
Exactly.
Because you know that there are labs where like they run only tests, like they do all these tests. While we have hospitals where they just do it, but we have standard labs. So he advised that I go to a really standard lab to check it again to know the final result. And
But you have gone to you have gone to three different places.
It's more than 3.
You have gone to 4 different places. Will you not tell yourself that I didn't go to a standard place, or just because you also have in mind that there's going to be a standard of the standard that I'm using? No, we need to understand.
I actually feel like General Hospital is the one of the standards hospital, because everybody used to know General Hospital and all, because they assume to have all the facility the facilities and equipment and all that. But when I checked, it was AA, and I was even shocked that so I'm even AA. And when I checked again, it was AS. So I think the health facilities, they really need to do something. They need to step up their game, exactly, because maybe most of them are running on old techniques or something like that, or maybe something is just wrong somewhere. Because she said, I really don't believe genotype change except by prayer.
That's the only one. All right, thank you so much. It's been an amazing time, and we are going to our eating subtopic like I told you earlier. But before then, we'll be listening to this amazing song by the Sonorous See Me. Welcome back, and that was Simi featuring Ladipo on Know You. So now, back to what we have been saying here. So part of, I really want to know how your day went. I hope you're adding what's your genotype to the equation because it's necessary. So before we continue, whilst we are getting at it, I'm going to be reading some messages we got on Twitter. So first, someone said, you see AAN, those people are mad. They won't even bother to ask you for your genotype before dating you. Someone else said, we are not mad though. We don't bother asking because it's necessary. That is how start do. They have everything to come and cancel your fears. The reason why it's not necessary to ask. Why is nobody talking? Another person said this. Why is nobody talking about IVF plus PGD testing in Nigeria? This will prevent career couples from giving birth to children with sickle cell anemia. I think that this approach isn't the best solution, especially since we have so many false genotype results, like what we said. I said, well, the question is how many people can afford it? These days, I send to carriers who want to get married to speak with trained counselors. So how many people can actually afford it? There's a message I received that has the whole pricing and everything. So let's go right to it. Sometimes it doesn't work that way. I'm AS and I married SS. While my two boys are AS. It's the Lord's doing. Mind you, I can't advise anyone to take such risk. Prevention, they say, is better than what? There has to be a way out because for every AA there is over 10 million AS out there. So I think it's not a matter of how many men are available, how many women are available. It's not a matter of how many AAs are available. It's a PS, balance me real quick. Another person says, why would I even want to marry ASL? Someone that will just be falling sick every 3 days. This life no balance at all. All these people with AA genotype shouting they can marry or date anyone they like without asking their genotype. Don't forget rhesus factor too is essential. You can't be O negative with your AA and say you want to marry someone with A positive. Now we go to the eating subtopic, rhesus factor. So now, what do you understand by rhesus factor? Yes. What do you understand by rhesus factor? Like rhesus factor, like how essential is it in this conversation? Or like,
well, I feel like it's also as important as your genotype, because if you are a mother that is positive and your child is negative, or like opposite, obviously your body is not going to be able to carry that child. Your body is going to treat that child as a foreign body. Yes. So that is also very important, in fact, to lead to miscarriages and all of that. So I feel like it's also as important as genotype. But as for when you are going to have it, when you are going to have that conversation, all the results said it's too deep. It's too deep. It's a little too deep. So,
but it's as essential as the anemia, as anemia, right?
Yeah, true. But
okay, it's deep. Because see the thing. Let's be clear here. Like this is Blessing that is talking now, and Blessing was the one that was shouting AA. So Blessing is the person talking now, and now you see that our voice that we have go down. We have that for rhesus factor later.
I feel like people are not as aware of this rhesus factor as they are aware of genotype. People don't know much about this, so they just feel like, oh, I'm AA, let's move on with life. I feel like this is also a very important topic that we should start talking about, because not everybody even knows what this is. So,
all right, you want to say something, please?
All right, let me do a little scientific background.
Yes, get prepared.
All right, so I'm not a medical doctor anyway, or a medical student, but what I understand is the rhesus factor is like a protein around the red blood cells, and is responsible for the flatness of the red blood cells. So like she said, if a mother is positive and the child is negative, the rhesus factor of the mother will build antibodies against the child's red blood cells, and once it builds those antibodies, it breaks down the red blood cells of that child. And once the red blood cells of that child is broken down, that child begins to turn yellow. That's what we call jaundice. So that can be a cause of jaundice. And sometimes, if it's not properly taken care of with medical facilities, it can lead to miscarriage. So it can also, there's a lot attached to it. But well, if both partners are opposite, maybe the mother is negative and the father is positive, and the child takes the father's rhesus factor, well, if proper care is taken, it may be safe. So like you said, it is as important as genotype too, because it can lead to miscarriage, and miscarriage is another pain. After carrying a child
for a while,
spend
bonding with the child,
antenatal bonding, you've done the pregnant workout, everybody, and before you know it, it comes down again. First time, second time, and most people don't know about it. They don't know at all. They don't know about it.
Okay, so let's break it down to like simpler terms. So the rhesus factor. So now, normally when we're in school, they say, oh, what's your genotype? AA O positive, AA O negative. So please, at what point should we run? Is it when I see, now I'm AC, so when I see AA O negative, because I'm O positive, at least that I know based on the result I received, though, because that's I'm not going to anymore. We have to be careful. So now, where should I run or where should I stay? Negative or positive? Because I see A, I think there is A, I know.
B
So
and
which one is compatible? Let's just use O.
Okay, I think O positive and O positive can.
Can
Fine.
positive.
All right. So
Yes.
please apply within
Yeah.
A and O positive. so once we have O negative, is it possible?
Oh, yes.
I think that's yes.
Okay, as far as like it's the same thing.
Yeah, but when it's
Yeah, but when it's
opposite,
opposite.
positive and negative.
Oh, that's
when
For
when
the mother, if the mother is positive and the father is negative, it can still go with what I saw. But when it's negative from the mother and positive from the father, that there is something
Because the
wrong.
child is going to take
Yes,
father's
Father's rhesus factor.
yes.
yes. So
Oh.
imagine the child being positive, mother
Positive.
is negative. The mother's
It's a
body is
clash.
going to create antibodies and fight against that child. So
Yes.
Well,
That's not advisable.
at the same time, okay, like let us not mix this up actually. Because
Okay.
once the mother is positive and is negative, that's when it begins to clash. But once the mother is negative and the child is positive, if that child is the first child, there may be no issue because at that point, that's based on my research anyway, because at that point, the mother's body has not yet built antibodies
bodies
against the child. That's for the first child, if she's having the first child. But once it gets to the second, third, or fourth, that's where the problem is.
So firstborns is like as if this genotype and everything is in support of firstborn. So they don't want you to have more than one or more than two. You want to share something? You want to say something?
Yes, like it has to be the only time that there will not be clash is when the mother is positive, the father is negative, then there is nothing. But if the mother is negative and the father is positive, it's going to be there's a need for precaution there.
Okay, so as a lady, you make sure that if you are negative, the man must be positive.
Yes.
And if I am positive, the man must be
If you're positive, the man must be negative.
the man must be negative.
If you're positive and the man is negative, there is no precaution. But
Okay.
when you are negative and the man is positive, there is something wrong.
Oh, okay. So once you are O negative or A negative, that's when you should actually start asking.
Precaution.
So if you like, so now, like as you guys rightly said with the genotype, once you're A, you can let it go. But once you have that negative, just make sure you start talking about
Yes.
it. Because going back to this web series that I aired one time with when they went to the pastor and pastor said, "Oh, have you guys heard about rhesus factor?" And then they realized that they had conflicting rhesus factors, and just
people don't really know about this.
that's true. People don't. So we just end the conversation on genotypes and all.
But people don't know that there's more.
Yes.
So hi baby girl, I'm sure you're listening to this. So my question for you now, with all of these things we have said, would you like to go ahead? Would you want to go ahead? It all depends on you because it's you, yeah, and we are just saying our perspectives and we have mentioned the risk attached and everything. Is it worth the risk? It's true love worth the risk. But you know this amazing song by Simi. My the program said that I like Simi songs a lot. And it says love don't care who you be.
Okay.
Yeah, you did.
They say love is blind, but mind you open your eyes.
That one is serious. So that one is serious. Okay, so I have like a little game that we can play. So I want someone to spell incompatibility. Incompatibility backwards.
Backward.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Let's go. Show your.
Okay, incompatibility. That's Y-T-I-L-I.
Okay, Esther go. No, you can do it.
Y-T-I-L-I-T-C.
I don't understand. Is it
Let me try.
Litty.
This is hard.
okay, letting you go.
Okay, Y-C I-L-I-B B. Did I say B?
Yes, no. That's right now.
I
Uh-huh.
T
Uh-huh.
A.
You're wrong. You're
I'm
feeling.
wrong. How?
Yeah, let me try again.
Okay, try.
Okay. YTILIBITCAPM. No, CA income.
No, I need you listening to us. Please send us your backwards spelling of incompatibility. I'm expecting. So we're going back to Esther now. So Esther, incompatibility backwards.
How?
Okay.
No, are you checking your phone?
Okay. YTIL, then ITAB, APMOC.
Uh-huh.
Like he was going to drink you a lot.
Have we changed
No,
the game?
okay. So next in resource factor backwards.
Okay.
Okay. 10 seconds. 10.
ROTCAF.
Wait. I don't understand. You confused me.
Okay. You said resource factor.
Yes.
So I'm starting with factor.
Oh, okay.
ORTFA.
Okay, we have a call.
No.
Okay, yeah.
Alright, we have a call, please. Network. Hello, good afternoon. Very well, thank you. Please, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Togo right now.
Oh, okay, you're tuning in from Lome, Togo. Wow, we're global now. So, what's your take on the topic? At what point do you think you should ask about your genotype or resource factor?
Hello.
Can you hear me? Or what's your take on the topic, please?
For the genotype, as you guys have noted, I think it's a great topic, and I think it is important for every relationship, especially when you are thinking of settling down with a person. And if you know my take exactly, if you think it is important to you, it doesn't matter at what point you make it known in the relationship. For yourself, maybe I think you are digging the person, I think you are compatible with the person or to your own understanding, and you are seeing a future with the person. It doesn't matter what time you let the person know. You can actually even initiate the topic and let the person just know that, okay, maybe you guys are compatible in that sense, while there might be some other, so to say, factors to consider in terms of determining your kind of relationship for future, especially the children, for instance, who do not or who have no say in what you guys are planning right now. We are bringing them into your life in the future, so you should be able to initiate the topic, however awkward it might be, even if you are not seeing a relationship or a long-term relationship, so to say, with the person. You should just let the person know. I think it is a common topic, and we should make it even as simple as when people try to become open about their sexual relations or other stuff. You find people in a relationship and they are so open to talk about sex and other stuff. But how can you not talk about relationships or genotypes? Yes, genotypes. If you are willing to talk about sex, it doesn't make sense. If you are willing to talk about sex just to having for sexual relations, okay, what if during having sex you bring a baby into the world and you guys have not even confirmed your genotype? So I think this is an issue. Even if you want to say, quote and unquote, this is not right, maybe having casual sex, but then it is sex, anything can happen, and then you want to bring a baby into the world not knowing even your genotype. So it boils down to being able to raise the discussion even before we do the things that will quote and unquote term as simple. Can you hear me?
Oh yes, we're listening attentively.
So I think you get my point, right?
Oh yes, definitely.
Sex casually. How can you not talk about genotype casually? You understand what I'm saying? Because anything can happen. It is not guaranteed for anyone. So I think it should be a topic, and it is not supposed to be seen as a cliche or something that is a taboo.
Or something that is sensitive.
Yes, we understand that fact, or you are SS. So, and then we maybe even business relationships, as long as it is going outside of the office lane, we should be able to discuss these things without prejudice or having a preconceived idea about what SS means or AS means. So it should be an open topic for everyone, so that we can be able to plan accordingly before we get our legs into shoes that maybe will not really fit us. So that is my entire take on that. And also, if you are going to get married to a person who is maybe AS or SS, aside from the miracle factor, there are several things that can lead to a miracle. There is just the sovereignty of God in its entirety. He just decides to take it away, okay, because he sees a future within the two of you. But then if you are the one trying to initiate the miracle in believing God, in praying and fasting and everything, you have to consider other things too. There is the aspect of your faith and there is the aspect of reality. If there is going to be a miracle, that is entirely up to God. Even if you pray and fast, we have had situations where people pray and fast, even for children and all those stuff, where the miracle does not come. And it is not in them not believing, but because for some very special circumstances that might not be known to man, it just doesn't happen. What do you do in that case? But then you bring in children into the world that will not be able to hold on to it. And while it is a probability case, you can have children that might be AA, you can have children that might be AS, you can have children that might be AS, but it is not a chance that we should be readily available to take. Because in the long run, it does not only put stress and discomfort on the child, it also puts the same thing on you, and also anxiety to make sure that that person is okay, which is why we have to be sympathetic in the way we deal with people. You don't know whether someone is going through just someone falling sick all the time, but you don't know what their conditions are. But then it has happened, but then we need to show a lot of compassion and empathy to those kind of people, because they are situations that they did not cause by themselves, but by the decisions of others that they did not know about, that have come now to affect their lives. So I think it is a wonderful topic, and we should begin to look at this in a general sense of the word, just as we talk about relationships, sex, our age, or even career, or we talk about dreams, we talk about aspirations and compatibility. Genotype should be a valid factor. I once had a friend, even if we did not really hit it off, it was open. She actually went, took the test, took HIV test, sent me the picture, took this, sent me the picture. I was like, what's the need for all this? So I was able to learn that. But these topics are not things we should shy away from. They should be things that we are liberal about, things that we are open-minded about, because nobody really, so to say, conceives themselves being in that kind of situation, but they have found themselves with it, so they are able to, or they should be able to deal with it as the circumstances present themselves. So I think that is my take on that, and I think you guys have shared great points and points of view. For the one that has 5, I don't know what to say about that. The tests are not correct. Maybe something went along the way, but whatever the case, I believe care should be taken in terms of making these decisions, and maybe you should sort out a lab dedicated to this kind of things, so that there can be clarity. Because right now, you cannot say you are AS and you are AA, you are AS, you are AA. I don't think those things change all of a sudden, just that well, maybe I've not done my research up to that point, but there should be clarity, and it should be on one side of the line, and so that we can know exactly what we are dealing with. I think that is that.
Wow. Thank you very much for calling in. Wow, like you dissected this topic in 7 minutes, almost going to 8. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Bye.
Every week, this is my first time of listening.
Oh yes. Same time every week, 12:30 to 1:30 on Vex Cook Out. Thank you. And you too. Oh, so I received messages. I didn't call out the number to call. So it's still 081-318-20241. 081-318-20241. So one thing I learned from that conversation, thank you so much, Tokun, for calling in. And he said something. He said, the same way you can talk about everything casually, it's the same way you should talk about your genotype. Because it's more than just your decision. It's more than just love. It's more than so many things. And I like the fact that he stressed everything we've talked about. And this was like a proof that he was listening from start to finish. And when we talked about God, he said the sovereignty of God is there, but you know you can't, like, you want to do it by yourself. So don't forget, the number to call is 081-318-20241 on WhatsApp, please. 081-318-20241. Yeah, so we have a lot of messages from Twitter. So so in the nick of time, because our time is fast spent, but I really appreciate we have like one more caller, please. One more caller. Now it says, any couple who willingly goes against the above and hoping for a miracle should be arrested and charged with attempted murder. And take it easy. There is no reason whatsoever why anyone should gamble with the life of another. Even love is not enough. Is love really enough? But God so loved the world.
It's not fair on the person you're bringing in.
By the way, the only thing that can change the genotype is the bone marrow transplant. It has been proven to be the only promising permanent cure to SS, SC, and CC. However, it is new, very expensive, and cannot be done in any part of Africa. It also carries some risk. Something broke the internet this morning about 3 different cars for 3 different people, and like if that's possible, bone marrow is possible. Now, another message is, everybody's talking about the AA, feeling like, be sickle smart, don't be irresponsible with love. That's deep. Be sickle smart. Wow, I really like that. Now, the fact that AA have a particular period they suffer gives me absolute joy, and the period is now.
How? What does that even mean?
Ow. I said every member of my family is AA and none has fallen sick this period. I don't even have regular malaria as speculated for AAs. As a common, it's okay. I can only marry AA. That is, got that. My other brother died 12 years ago to SS. Don't want any kid to go through what you went through, let alone my own kid. Wow. So sorry for that. Now another message is, some people get an AA result from one clinic only to find out that they are actually AS. I think this is the reason why people will enter relationships and just be like, oh, okay, we're AA, because they've gotten too far and just realize that how did this one happen? Maybe it's power for mine. That's it. Before you start bringing children into the world, ensure you confirm your genotype again and again. Don't assume your genotype. Go for genotype test again and again. Let me go for another one and get AA. That would be great. So now, I'm going to talk about the compatibility. So that's AA plus AA is a yes. AA plus AS is a yes. AA plus SS is a yes. AA plus AC, yes. AS plus AS,
No.
AS plus SS,
No.
AS plus SS,
No.
AS plus AC rather,
No.
AC plus SS,
It's SC plus
SS,
No.
SS plus SS. SC. No, I had a friend, like, it was when she was getting married that she realized she was actually SC. So she has never had the same, the normal thing. Like, so what if her husband, she was already like, oh, no, but I'm AA, I have everything. I just the results.
That's why you need to confirm.
Yes, that's why confirmation is like key. My uncle and wife are both AS, and they found out after 20 years of marriage with 5 kids, and none of them is SS. What you don't know, they say can't kill you. My own late parents.
It's very rare. Like that happens in really
Rare cases, so don't
like
take
1
that
out
risk.
of 100.
1 out of 100. Are you ready to be the 1 out of 100? Rounding up, my own late parents both AS and gave us a factory of SS. My SS sister died 2 years ago after 22 years of suffering life. Wow. So sorry. Doc, can AC plus AC go ahead?
AC
AC
plus
plus
AC.
AC. They give birth to SC.
That's still,
It's still risky.
it's still a risky thing.
So yes or no? Would you advise? Would you advise?
no, not necessarily.
No.
I won't.
It's not like AS and
AC,
AS.
exactly.
Yes, it's more like the same
So
now.
it's more like the same. Don't do it.
So true. Some of us are AA plus SS, and God has been faithful. Some honest and painful mistakes here. But AS plus AS knowingly is the most common, and I find it selfish at times. Agreed. Some labs make mistakes and give us wrong results, but maybe 3 or 4 tests to confirm. Yes, and I hope my sister is listening. I used to tell you that we are both in this AC together. You're not AA. So go and check yourself. 4 minutes to the end of the wonderful 1 hour of Wednesdays where we have Apex Cookout. I had a swell time with my amazing guests, Esther, Blessing, and Mayokun. Thank you so much. It was really great. It was really great. So do you have any statement or any last words you want to tell anyone? Anyone, just last words, advice, final advice, more like.
Well, I feel like I agree with the person that said it's selfish to bring a child into the world, because even if you love yourself, think about the pain that child is going to go through when they come into the world with that sickness. So I feel like it's better you go through the heartbreak and everything, break up, find your separate ways, go and meet someone that you're compatible with, so that when your children eventually come into the world, they don't have to suffer, and you too, you don't have to suffer. So I think you should think long term when you are in that kind of situation. Don't just think about the love that you have at that present time.
Wow. So Blessing says think long term. Mayokun.
Alright, for me, to avoid all the stress of looking for who is not and who is not, just pray. That's my
Pray.
Just pray and let God lead you to the right person.
Yeah, God can be
So
wrong.
one sentence, I would say, be true and be sincere to yourself. Be true and be sincere to yourself.
There you have it, guys. Be true and be sincere to yourself. Pray and
Think long term.
think long term. So I'll leave you with this. Be sickle smart. Until we meet again, I remain your humble host, Oyin Damola Olajide. You can call me Oyin for short. Thank you so much. Bye for now.